What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Facts Not Included, the podcast. As you know, today is your Monday movie review discussion. Movie discussion, I guess, is kind of what we're going for now. It is Memorial Day. This episode actually won't be dropping, as you know, you're listening to it. Won't be dropping Monday. We'll be dropping on a Tuesday this time. But look forward to a review next Monday on probably that new movie. Wow, I am blanking on movie names. This is a great way to start a podcast. Booksmart. You're likely going to get a review from me about Booksmart and very likely Brightburn. But we'll discuss that on our social media. Anyway, today's review is all about Aladdin, 2019's Aladdin from Disney. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna go deep into it. I think what we're gonna be doing moving forward, and something we talked about in our John Wick review, discussion, is reviewing a movie is more or less going into the scenes, figuring out what the cinematographer did wrong or correctly, and so on and so forth, and what the actors did wrong and incorrectly. I think having a movie discussion and just talking about the overall effect the movie has had on our viewing and whatnot is probably the best way to do this. We're not really going to change our format much when it comes to talking about a movie. It's just better to just call it a discussion rather than a review. It confuses people. So, but yeah, Aladdin 2019. We've talked about Aladdin before on this podcast leading up to this film's release, and my disappointment of a few things. Of course, we had images and we had the trailer that came out, that teaser trailer that came out early this year. I think it was in February. And the concern that I had and others had regarding the genie's look, regarding a bunch of things, and why it just looked like a fat or bloated Will Smith. And we all know Will Smith doesn't really look like that, and it's also hard to adjust your eyes to someone or something that you are completely aware of in a different reality, to then see them in this new reality, this new form, but the same face. It's disheartening in the sense of, wow, that's not who I know. You know, it's just this weird. Your brain is not used to figuring that out, and so I think it took us a lot to adjust to, and also the fact that it looked nothing like Will Smith. They fixed that. I will say that they fixed that. That's something that we had a concern about. Also, we had a concern about the movie looked a bit staged in the sense of it looked like it was shot on a backlot. It looked too colorful, looked too bright, looked too too well put together in a sense. I'll get to that, I think, later. I didn't think I felt that while watching the movie. I felt that while seeing the trailers, but I didn't get that feeling while watching the movie. Of course, none of these places exist. Of course, Aladdin takes a lot of cues from Asian culture, particularly India, and as well as North African culture and Middle Eastern culture, to create the world of Agrabah and all the other realms and kingdoms, I suppose, in the Aladdin movies, both animated and live action. So, and that is something we'll get into, because the history of Aladdin is very, let's say, not politically correct, not seen as clean. But I think, for me, this movie really worked. I don't know if you saw my posts on social media in regards to this film. After seeing it, I think it's one of the best live-action movies Disney has made since they've started doing these live-action films with Cinderella. I don't know if it takes the cake, as they say. I don't know if it knocks Jungle Book out of the park, in a sense. I think it is just there, or if it could be better. I mean, I would have to watch this movie again. Remind you, I've seen Jungle Book a good 4 times, 5 times. I've seen Beauty and the Beast 2 or 3 times, and I don't think it's that good. I think it's good, but I don't think it's that good. The only two that I could say are at the top for me is Jungle Book and currently right now Aladdin. Watch me watch Aladdin again, and I drop it to the very bottom. Who knows? Um, and as you know, I hated Dumbo and Maleficent. I don't think those two movies deserved. I think those two, especially Dumbo. I think Dumbo deserved a better movie to be made about him. Maleficent didn't think that there needed to be a movie about her, but well, hey, whatever. There's a second one coming out because apparently they thought it was good enough. Anyway, moving on. So Aladdin 2019, I do not know when they announced Aladdin was coming out, and whenever they did, at first, no one was attached. They just mentioned we're making Aladdin. I was pretty excited. I have not seen Aladdin probably since I was a young teenager or pre-teenager. So the film for me was something in my childhood was a huge part of. I loved the first one, the second, the third one I watched a lot, and I loved the TV show as a kid. I'm pretty sure if I watch it now, I'm not going to like it as much, whatever it may be. But those movies meant a lot to me. Robin Williams, as if many of you know, if you know anything about me, Robin Williams is one of my idols. He's, they say to never have idols, but hey, I have. He's one of those people in Hollywood and whatever, comics. He's one of those comics that I looked up to. Comedians for me are extremely important to, and have been extremely important to my upbringing, and whatnot. And Robin Williams, as for most people, I'm not the only one, obviously. Robin Williams meant the world to many, many people. And when they announced that they were doing Aladdin, the first thing people thought about was, well, how are you going to do it without Robin Williams? And for me, I asked that question, but at the same time, I thought about, well, think about it. It's going to be live action. They're likely going to put a spin on it. And listen, whoever they're going to take, that doesn't take away from your experience of enjoying Robin in those beautiful scenes and moments in the first movie and in the show. It does not take it away. If anything, it could enhance it, but I don't think it takes away from that experience. You're always going to have Robin Williams as the genie. When they announced Will Smith, a lot of people were like, what? Why? What has he done for him to qualify as the genie? You know, that nonsense. But I sat there and I thought, no, he's, I think, the perfect choice. Now, granted, I might have said that if someone else was casted. But, in all honesty, I think Will Smith was the perfect choice. I'll tell you why. He's one of the only few people in Hollywood that could match or get as close to the energy, it's very important, to the energy of Robin Williams. Will Smith is witty, he's quick. He's no Robin Williams, obviously, but he's got the energy. He'll keep it up. He'll keep up that energy. He'll keep going with it. Maybe someone else that could keep that energy is maybe Jim Carrey or something like that. But those two are way too similar in a sense that there would have been direct comparisons between Jim Carrey and Robin Williams. When you get a guy like Will Smith, who is just like Robin in a sense, that has done serious roles, has done comedic roles, has done all this stuff, but his style is different. And he's also not by trade a comedian, Will Smith. He's an actor first, and maybe a singer first, actor second, or whatever, or vice versa. So I was able to separate Robin Williams from Will Smith. I was able to separate the two. The thing is, I still believe, Will Smith is the guy that was able to match that energy. And when watching this film, when watching Aladdin 2019, you get that idea. You get that feeling that, okay, clearly Will Smith, just like Robin, had a lot of fun making this movie. You see it in his eyes, you see it in the way he's just, you could just tell he had a load of fun in this movie. And apparently, the behind the scenes stuff is really funny. He used to do random dance battles or whatever, I think during set, just to have people going and moving around. So I think that's phenomenal. I think that's awesome. So, Will Smith, hands down, was the right choice, I think. The part that got me, and I think they announced the director way before any actor, I'm pretty sure, was Guy Ritchie directing this. And if you know anything, if you've heard this podcast before, I wasn't a fan of when they announced that Guy Ritchie was directing. I was not a fan of any I'm not really a big fan of any of his films. I'm not a Sherlock Holmes fan. You know, I don't. I mean, I dig the movies. They're cool because Robert Downey Jr.'s in there, but like whatever. What else? What else has he made? Snatch, of course. People like Snatch. Snatch is good, but I don't know. That was back in the day. That was 2001, I think, right? 2001. So, like, what have you done for me lately? And what has he done for us lately is that King Arthur movie, and that was a load of crap. You know, I mean, it just bothered me. And Man from Uncle, say what you want to say about it. It's all right. It's all right. It's not that phenomenal. I think it's good. Like, when I started, I thought it was really good. No, I don't think it's great. Rock and Rolla, I've never seen that, so I don't know how that movie is. But anyway, for the most part, I'm not a big fan of Guy Ritchie, and I'm not a big fan of his style. And you see his style, and you see a lot of artistic liberties taken in this movie. I guess they work. They take you out a little bit, and that's the part that I don't know. It's strange because and you know what I'm talking about when you if you haven't seen the movie, you're not gonna know. But if you've seen it, you're definitely gonna know what I'm talking about. When he decides to speed up the image, he decides to slow it down. He decides to do a bunch of things, and I'm just like, oh god, what's happening? You don't need to speed up the film. You really don't need to. I guess they felt like they had to make it match, I guess, the animation from the old movie. I don't know. I can't tell you, but things like that took me out. But I still think the movie works overall. I really do. I really do. Especially later when Princess Jasmine's singing and people start disappearing, and you're realizing, okay, this is a dream sequence. Something's going on here. At first, like an idiot, I was like, wait, why does she have superpowers now? Is she a genie? You know, I'm like, I'm just dumb. But I don't know. I don't know how I guess I'll have to watch it again to really get a full understanding as to, oh, he really needed to speed up the image here, because other than that, it would not have worked. Like, I'm really curious of if I needed to do that or not, if they needed to do that or not. A lot of people seem to be upset, and it's currently this movie, I think, is sitting at a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. At least last time I checked. Yeah, it's sitting at a 58%. I don't necessarily understand why. And I'm reading some reviews, and you could start seeing why people are upset, I guess. They say Disney played it safe. They said Disney made sure that they didn't take any major risks in this movie. I don't understand that, because then it contradicts some of the things other people are saying about their negative aspects of the film, is that they changed it. And they made it this way and that way. I don't understand some critics. And here's what I'm going to say. A few of the critics that I've read say that the movie's too safe, all this stuff. I could see what they're saying in regards to that, maybe. But you have to realize this movie came out not too long ago. I mean, granted, it's already 27 years, but in comparison to all the other Disney live-action movies they've made, besides Beauty and the Beast, which is also why a lot of people don't like the new Beauty and the Beast, the other ones were so old. You know, Jungle Book, Cinderella, Dumbo. Dumbo just sucks, so anyway. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, this movie, to a lot of, especially the viewers that went to go see this film, that was their childhood. You changed it a little bit, just a tad, it's fine. That's great. You didn't change it all that much to the people that knew the movie. To the people that it wasn't their film when they were a kid, yeah, you might see it as a safety net by not changing a lot. But you don't need to change this movie. I don't think so. I don't think you need to change this movie all that much. Another thing I'm seeing that people are talking about is the idea of giving Jasmine a bigger role in this film. I didn't have a problem with it. It felt good. It felt natural. I didn't feel like it was pushed on me. It is 2019, and women are having a bigger say in Hollywood and a bigger voice to be heard, and it just naturally felt fit. You know, I don't understand people's concern. There was one review that said you might as well have called it Jasmine. What? Did you watch the same movie? Aladdin was in it. He's the focal point, and there's no one else that's the focal point in this film other than Aladdin, like the main focal point. But the moments that they do change with her are nice. You get that little plot point. Her sides are really fun to watch as well. But it's clear that it's Aladdin's story. I don't get people. But anyway, so people are saying they played it safe. That's why it's not good. I don't understand that. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. If it's not a good movie, it's not a good movie. But the fact of the matter is, because they played it almost to point from the original, but it's not. That's the other thing I want people to realize. The people that are saying it's point to point they're also a little bit wrong, because it's not. You're leaving out a lot of. This is why I'm saying they're contradicting themselves. This is why I'm saying they're contradicting themselves. The same people that's saying that they're taking it too safe are the same people that are like, Will Smith wasn't, as entertaining. So then they're not taking it point by point. They're not telling the same thing. Because Will Smith was a different genie in this movie. And for good reason, you can't match Robin Williams point to point. There's little glimpses of that, but he can't match him point to point, and I get it. Enough of the critics, because they piss me off a lot of the times, these so-called professional critics of these movies. What I want to say is, yeah, I think Will Smith did a phenomenal job for what he had to do, for who he had to fill the shoes of. Oh, he did a phenomenal job. I really do think so. The cast of this movie. Naomi Scott. I don't know. I've really seen much of her stuff. I know I saw The Martian. Fuck the Power Rangers movie. The 33 I haven't seen. But Naomi Scott, who knew she had a voice on her? I didn't know this going into the movie. I didn't know this going into the movie until I mean, obviously when we saw that trailer where she's singing A Whole New World, but I was like, yeah, that's just a trailer. Maybe that's the only part of the movie she knows how to sing. Because, that happens. Nope. That song that she sings, I think it's called Speechless or something, but it has the word speechless in it. I wanted to cry. Okay? You don't understand how much that hit me, because I really felt for her emotions in that moment. I really did. She was great. So, I don't know the name. Yeah, Speechless. Yeah, here we go. Oh my God, she's probably one of my favorite actresses now because of this movie. Who knows? I'm probably butchering this man's name here. The guy who played Aladdin, Mena Massoud. I don't know. He really good. A lot of people are saying he can't hit certain notes. I don't particularly care so much if it's not as blatantly obvious to the whole audience, then it doesn't matter to me. If it's really clear that it's like, oh, ouch, like the whole audience is like, oh God, that took me out. It didn't for me. If it did for you, what you do you. But for me, I was sitting there enough to realize, okay, it's working. Like, it's working. I don't mind. And I think he was phenomenal. He's so charming. He is one of the most charming individuals in Hollywood right now. That smile of his is infectious. I'm just gonna be honest. It is. He wow. Everyone in the theater, even there was people around sitting around us in the theater that were just like, "Oh my God, he's dreamy, he's gorgeous," all that stuff. He's got a future. Naomi Scott's got a future. He's got a future. The man that played Jafar, Marwan Kenzari, I don't know much about him either. He was fine for what he needed to be. Nothing phenomenal there. The guy that played the Sultan, Navid, I'm not even gonna try to say it. Negaban. I don't even know how to say his last name. Anyway, the Sultan, that man, he put a lot of emotion into his performances. He had me hooked as the Sultan. He had me hooked. I felt like I would put my country behind this man. The casting in this movie was well done. I think this is a testament to the idea of you don't need major stars to play in a film, a blockbuster film, for it to be successful. Granted, they got Will Smith, and that brought a lot of people that weren't going to see this movie maybe in to go see it. That is very, very well possible. It doesn't work like that much anymore, I don't think, in Hollywood, but hey, it is what it is. But it just goes to show you that, hey, you do not need the biggest stars in the world to have a success. Granted, people were going to go see it because it was called Aladdin. And I think that's what Disney's aware about. They're well aware that, hey, what's going to get people in these seats is the fact that this is an Aladdin movie and nothing else but that. So kudos to them for the good casting, I think. This movie's not going to win any awards or anything. It might win Best Original. Speechless. I mean, come on. It's gotta. For me, I don't know if it worked for anybody else, but I think it really worked for me. And if it gets nominated down the line for Best Original Song, hey, I wouldn't be surprised. So there's moments in this film for me that clearly work, and I think that's most of the movie. But then, like I said, those Guy Ritchie moments are whatever. What I like about this movie is its tonality. The fact that it was a much darker film. The tone that was set in this movie, it was very clear from the beginning of this film. Will Smith, unlike in the original Aladdin movie, where the genie plays some merchant and he's like more or less telling you this story, and you then realize, oh, that's Robin Williams, and you then realize that's more or less the genie. You realize from the get-go this film that it might be a serious movie. They're going to take the serious tone, I think, to this. He's talking to his kids. He's on the ship, and then we move from there. You get this idea that, okay, this isn't the Aladdin from yesteryear. This isn't 1992's Aladdin, where they take a lot of. Because you have a guy like Robin Williams, you're able to stretch the comedy. You're able to make the seriousness of the scenes into, you're able to make them lighter. The levity goes down. With a film like this, when you have a guy like Will Smith and you don't have Gilbert Gottfried and you don't have Robin Williams, the tonality shifts a bit. And you understand that this story is a lot darker than you want to believe, I guess. Also, I think, again, it's 2019. You're trying to be really politically correct, I guess. They were, of course, getting away from the racial undertones that are heavily in the original Aladdin. And you don't get that really here. I wasn't really looking for them, so I don't know if they were still in there. I'm sure some people are going to say the whole story is a racial undertone. Sure, probably. Most likely. I'm not going to get into that. But the blatant ones that are in the original movie, yeah, they're more or less not there. And I guess for good reason. That doesn't need to be funny. But which is where I'm talking about what that comedy comes from. That's taken away a little bit, so you're left with this more seriousness. Like, oh, every single beat is a bit more serious, I guess. Yeah, I'm still trying. I gotta see this movie again. I'm still trying to grasp around the tone and the mood. If what I'm seeing is something I'm just creating in my head, or if it does really clash or not clash with the original movie, I'm curious of that. I want to look at that again. But that's what I picked up. I remember some of those racial undertones and stuff like that and whatnot in the original movie that are more or less absent in this movie. Yeah, the story of Aladdin, if you know anything about the story of Aladdin, it's more or less originally centered in Chinese culture. Yeah, it's interesting. And then later on, they started doing, like, when it hit America, the idea, because in London and stuff, it was Chinese culture and stuff. When it hit London, it was more or less then changed into Middle Eastern culture. And then Disney focused on India as a central, I guess, player in regards to the looking of the Taj Mahals is the Sultan's palace and stuff like that. So it's an amalgamation of so many different cultures. And to me, I'm going to say this, and you might get upset, people might get upset, but to me, I find that to be quite kind of beautiful. The fact that you could meld all these different cultures together and get something as entertaining and or as beautiful as Aladdin. But I get it. Some people might find that as cultural appropriation, and they might see that as a problem. I think mixing of different cultures is what I'm from New York. I'm so used to having different cultures being mixed and intertwined together on a daily basis. You have people dressing a certain way, and or I mean, that's a whole different topic for a different day. But I'm so used to seeing different cultures intertwined with each other that seeing a movie like Aladdin and picking up the oh wait, but that's really from Chinese culture, and that's really cool, and oh well, that's actually from Pakistan. You know, all these different undertones that the Aladdin franchise, I guess, teases us with, or whatever you want to say. I'm kind of cool with it, but that's just me, a white, not a white guy, a Puerto Rican guy from New York. What am I gonna do? So, but yeah, that is what Aladdin's about. And so I didn't have a problem with it. And again, this movie does a better job, I guess, of staying away from that and telling a different story and whatnot. Overall, yeah, go see this movie. Go see it. Give Disney all the money. Definitely go check it out. I recommend it highly. Out of 10 right now, an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, whatever. It's a pretty solid movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. I know they had a lot of fun making it. And of course, it's Aladdin, so you're going to sing along to the songs. Granted, they changed some of the lyrics of the songs, and I didn't pick that up because, again, I don't know it as much as maybe my girlfriend does. But, I didn't have a problem with them changing the lyrics because I didn't even know the lyrics to begin with. So, yeah, whatever. But yeah, that's been our Aladdin discussion. It's just been me here at Facts Not Included. Hope you enjoyed this little discussion. Don't forget to check out factsnotincluded.com for all your Facts Not Included needs. And of course, our store is going to be going up soon. Listen, a lot of personal stuff has been going on, and a lot of things have been going on just in general. So, the guys and I are working on some stuff. We're getting there. We're getting there. The store's going to be up soon. But don't forget to check out factsnotincluded.com/forum. Start your own little discussion there on the website, regardless of what it's about. Have people talk about it. And I hope you guys enjoy our little articles. I'm going to be doing a review real soon of See You Yesterday. It's a really interesting movie. I haven't checked it out yet, but I heard it's really interesting. Spike Lee production. It's about a girl that goes back in time to save her brother who got shot and killed by the police. So it's going to be a heart-wrencher, I think. It's going to pull some heartstrings, but it might be light in the sense that it has to deal with time travel. So it might be fun. Might be a lot of fun, too. So I hope you guys check that review out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And stay tuned for this Friday. Hopefully we got something really exciting, I think, cooking up for Friday, I think. We'll check. We'll see. Anyway, see you soon.